Hey, it's Molly. Let's take a look at the Aries New Moon happening on April 1st, 2022 at 2:25 a.m. Keep in mind that could be on March 31st for you, depending on your time zone. So here we have the Sun and the Moon conjunct at 11 degrees 30 minutes of Aries. This is the degree point you want to identify in your chart where the Sun and the Moon are together, and whichever house they're in is where the new beginning is being initiated. Now, the Aries New Moon kicks off the energies of the lunar cycle for the year ahead. So we had the Sun enter Aries on March 20th. That begins the astrological new year. And this is the new moon that begins the new lunar cycle. So this is important and significant because what you're beginning here at the end of March, beginning of April, is an energy signature that will carry through the full astrological cycle. Now we can see here that the Sun and the Moon are in a nice little sandwich with Chiron at 12 degrees of Aries and Mercury at 9 degrees of Aries. So we have a stellium here of Aries energies supporting the new starts, the new beginnings. And we have this Chiron that has been in this territory before. So Chiron was last at 12 degrees of Aries last June, July specifically. And this is an area of your chart that Chiron has already covered. What have you deeply healed and worked through since the middle of 2021? June, July, something came up, perhaps because Chiron hung out at 12 degrees for a number of weeks, a few months, in fact. So it would have been something significant if you have anything, especially around this degree point. But Chiron is back here now, supporting a new start for something you've healed. And here is Mercury joining in on the conversation. In Aries, this Mercury talks fast, can be a little abrasive if he isn't mindful, can certainly speak before he thinks, and basically wants to get going and get moving. It's a fast-moving Mercury, and this means there could be energies that you're really sensing that you're ready to move towards, something you're ready to start and initiate because of the healing work you've done. Now, this energy signature would be different if Chiron was in a new degree point, but Chiron's already been here. So there's something you've already been made aware of about the Aries energies in yourself. Whatever you have had to work through or work on, whatever you've been healing, whatever has changed you permanently since last year, this is the new start where the Sun and the Moon want to support you in whatever has come up that you have embraced, you've healed. Perhaps it was damaging or it was very hurtful at first. I feel like this is a new start. And I think this Mercury is going to be important for how Mercury is going to help you see it differently or think about it differently. But because Mercury moves so fast in Aries, you can skip over something or miss something. But I feel like this is where we're meant to actually integrate. Chiron wants us to integrate what is truly you, Aries, your sense of self, your self-identity, what matters to you. This is also the energy you're holding consciously or unconsciously in your aura. This is the energy you give out about your sense of self and what has shifted and changed. And I feel like this energy wants to be further integrated so that this new start that you're ready for, it's like it could feel different. I get the sense it could feel a little softer, where that Aries energy is very dynamic. Let's go, let's take off. I'm bored. Are we there yet? I feel like this Chiron, see how the Chiron is in front of the Sun, the Moon, and Mercury? It's almost like this Chiron is leading the parade here of saying, look at how you're different now. Look at what you've healed. Look at what has shifted. take that with you. Take that forward. Don't forget that. Don't take off in such a rush or sense of like this hurriness. Don't be so hurried and frantic that you're tripping over your words like I just did. Like, understand that you are new and it's okay to go slow, because Chiron does typically want you to be more mindful. So it's almost like, just be clearer on who you are now and honor that and see it as a strength instead of something that is slowing you down or weakness. Now, Aries is ruled by Mars. And here we have Mars in Aquarius, approaching exact conjunction to Saturn, which will happen April 4th. And Saturn is in the midpoint between Mars and Venus. And we know that earlier this year we had an extended conjunction between Mars and Venus as they traveled together in Capricorn, entered Aquarius together. Now they're in this energy still together. They're still only 6 degrees apart, right? But they're both in conversation with Saturn at this midpoint. So Saturn is about work, effort, slowing down. Mars is needing to slow down as Mars approaches Saturn. That could be some kind of stop or pause. I feel like in Aquarius, though, both this Mars and Venus are being deeply reprogrammed around relationships, expectations, the future, where they're going, maybe what they thought something would be or thought something would happen. The Saturn is very grounding and clear. Saturn is always a reality check. Well, this is what it is. This is what's currently happening, and how that is working with you mentally. I feel like this Saturn is still reprogramming relationship energies. And there's something here where Venus is going to continue to be very important, especially into May. Venus is actually a pretty big player in a number of the upcoming lunar energies. So this Venus, as she represents your self-value, your self-worth, how you're accepting yourself, she's being reprogrammed here. And as we move through April into May, again, she's a big player in the Libra full moon, the Taurus solar eclipse, and then in the Scorpio full moon. And by the way, those are eclipses. So we have energies here where Venus is being highlighted. I mean, that's what it feels like, especially at the end of April. The Taurus solar eclipse is really beautiful. I'm so excited to do a video for you on that because the energy around it is huge. It's like big, expansive Venus energy. I think she's being prepared. I feel like this Venus is being prepared for something that's coming maybe later in April and May. And this Mars is being slowed down so that he's not too careless. He's more mindful. He's clearer. One thing about the Aquarius energy, it shows you more of who you are. It's like polishing a window or making something clearer, because Aquarius wants you to see who you are. And I think that's what is being reworked here and reprogrammed with both Mars and Venus, especially with this conjunction to Saturn. See yourself in a new way. What are you noticing about your own feminine, your own masculine energies, what you value, what you want, what you've been working on? I feel like this is still part of an ongoing shift in our heart consciousness, in our desires, in where we're going next. So what's interesting about this new moon is that typically Aries is very fast moving. It's go time, let's do this. And here we have energies that are a bit slower. And I think that's really perfect, because now you're not going to take off on something just out of this desperate need to create movement. It's almost like there's an intentional energy here that the universe is saying, look at what you've moved through, look at what you've healed, make sure that you're thinking about it in a meaningful, mindful way. Don't go too fast here. The slowdown is intentional. The integration is needed. And by the way, this is the month of the exact conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. Now you can see they're only 2 degrees apart here. And when this Jupiter gets to 23 degrees of Pisces, a week or so after this new moon, the energy is very strong. The exact conjunction is April 12th at 23 degrees, and then they move into 24 degrees of Pisces together. So their conjunction is actually going to be for a good 10 days, even though it's exact April 12th. And this energy, because it's so rare, this is once in a lifetime Pisces portal. Pisces is the ocean, surrender, offerings, letting go, release, unwinding, unraveling. You're surrendering something that you no longer need to carry forward. You're surrendering and releasing at a very deep level of your being. I mean, you could just feel, it's like your shoulders drop. Or if you're clenching, or if you've been like holding on tightly to something, if you've been resisting something, if you've been trying to keep something away, I feel like this is the universe telling you, drop whatever is in your head. Drop whatever your expectations are. Even drop any sense of control. Now it's interesting because the Aries and the Aquarius energies are masculine, but this is really strong feminine release. And I feel like we're just letting go of so many things that maybe we were clutching onto or expecting. Maybe it was what you were worried about. Maybe it's something that you're feeling like you have to have it a certain way. That can certainly be the case with Aquarius and also with Aries, where you want to have it your way. The bigger energy signature is just release all that, which might not feel so easy or normal to do. But as we move into April, it's going to be easier to release all this and move into the Pisces energies of just trusting that it's going to be something beautiful, even if you don't know what it is just yet. In April, we're going to see both Venus and Mars enter Pisces, and they'll be there by the end of the month. And again, the end of April has that Taurus new moon solar eclipse that's more feminine, trusting, allowing, beautiful creative energy, a lot of harmony in that Taurus new moon solar eclipse. So I feel like this Aries new moon is actually preparatory for the solar eclipse, because this energy is connecting you to your sense of self now. Understanding priorities, understanding what you want, understanding who you are now. Getting you clearer on what's possible, where you can go. But I feel like because this energy signature is so strong throughout April, there's things that we have to let go of in order for there to be more room for the new starts and what's possible, especially in future timelines. Now, those timelines are happening now. It's a bit like being on the highway where you're in one lane and then there's a lane to your left, a lane to your right, and those are concurrent timelines all happening at the same time. But this feels like there's things that are lining up in those other lanes and there's other timelines. But there's things that have to be released first. So the Aries new moon is asking you to make way make room, make space for the new parts of yourself that you're already in contact with. Like you feel it. You feel it. There's something you're feeling. It could be very new. Again, it could be special. Like this is once in a lifetime. It could be a once in a lifetime something that you're feeling, you're sensing, you're ready for it. You're doing some work over here with Saturn at the midpoint between Mars and Venus. You're doing some work here within your internal masculine, feminine energies. You've been healed. There's something that's been healed here that you're ready to take forward and move into new territory with. And then there's things that we're understanding we no longer need. You don't need it for the new start. You don't need to take old energies, old patterns, old karma forward. And both Jupiter and Neptune are making a sextile here to this North Node in Taurus, which means they're also trining the South Node in Scorpio. So there could be some really big things that you at a soul level can feel you're done with. And I feel like this could be an easier release. It's like an easier release valve. This could be changing a phase of your life. You could sense you no longer have energy for certain things. It no longer calls to you. It's no longer a part of your sense of self or where your energy naturally rises. With Aries, you feel excitement, inspiration, motivated. You're like, yes, I want that. That's what I'm going for next, or that matters to me, or that resonates. That's connecting to my current energy. And then you could have things that are a clear no. No, that's no longer me. That isn't what I want going forward. Been there, done that. The cycle is ending. The cycle is complete. So it's a very interesting combination of energies here where we start April with these strong masculine energies, but we end April with beautiful feminine blossoming energies that are harmonious and have a lot of synergy. So whatever April begins for you, it's something on your own terms, something that is connected to who you are and what you want. But I feel like because April has such fascinating energies this year especially, you're opening up to new parts of your energy that maybe you haven't connected to before. New parts of your life, new parts of your world. I mean, this really feels like new life chapters, new life beginnings, new things that are powerful, that are meant to come in, that are meant to be on your path. Jupiter is helping you with whatever you're ready to let go of. In April, there's going to be things that are easier to surrender. It'll just be like, yeah, I'm just done. I can feel the energy shift. I can feel that it's not something I want to take forward. So this is the month. This is a month of really big changes. Because not only do we have this conjunction, the month ends with Pluto retrograde and then that Taurus new moon solar eclipse. And I feel like this Aries new moon is standing strong in your new sense of self, in who you are now, what you've healed, what you've moved through, how you're different. This is like a new energy emerging within you that maybe, again, you felt it, but now you're really getting a sense of, oh, this is who I am now. This is what's coming through me. And if you're resisting any part of that, the universe is going to make it really clear that if you're resisting any part of your own truth, of your own authenticity, of who you are in the beautiful collective energetic paradigm, if there's anything that you're not fully embracing and owning, it's going to be obvious in April. But I feel like what is already clear to some of you is that there's chapters that are complete. You're beginning anew. You're ready for the new. even though there's still some work going on over here. So whatever begins during this Aries new moon is important. And the reason why you're even sensing this, it's like this in-between. It's this really interesting in-between month. But I feel like there could be a sense of you know who you are now. And you're okay to let go, surrender, release. I mean, this could even be habits, patterns, things that you're tired of in yourself or that you don't want anymore in your energy or in your world. And you're ready to embrace and do it differently. Chiron changes our frequency. When you've had big Chiron transits, they change you. Now, you could say that for every planet, right? But Chiron goes deep, goes deeper, and it changes your base level frequency, especially in Aries, which is connected to the root chakra, the sense of self, the origination point of something. So this really has a birthing energy. And it has that strong Pisces flavor as well. So needless to say, it's a very interesting Aries season because it isn't that robust, assertive Aries. It's a softer Aries, and I'm going to say it's a more conscious Aries, perhaps even more purposeful, because especially of how this Chiron in Aries has been requiring work on the lower Aries frequencies. So that would be anything around anger, impatience, impulsiveness, anything around being selfish or not understanding how your energy comes across or how you're affecting people, anything around parts of your ego or sense of self that have been out of proportion or unhealed or unhealthy. Chiron has worked with all of that and will continue to work with it as it journeys through Aries. But this new moon is embracing what you've healed, embracing what you've shifted, embracing how your frequency is different now. But in April, it keeps shifting. There's even more that needs to go that you've been carrying at a spiritual level, at a soul level, and that's going to open up even more. So I guess what I would say about this is that with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction happening the middle of the month, it happens before that Taurus new moon solar eclipse with all the beautiful energy that I'm raving about. And there's something, again, it's preparatory so that you can really have something be grounded, clear, strong, real in your life by the end of the month. So take it as it resonates, however that might be showing up for you. But April's a very interesting month with a lot of changes, potentials, new openings, things blooming or blossoming, coming up to your awareness. I also feel like there could be something here around just being kinder to yourself and just understanding that the Aries doesn't want to take its time, but some things take time. Chiron is the slowdown. Some things just take time. Mars conjunct Saturn. Things take time. Like let the trust in the universe formulate something for you and bring it together. But understand that that's going to connect to the frequency you're at now. So the best thing to do is really know who you are, honor your frequency, honor your path, what you've healed, what has shifted for you. Know that there's still more of this reprogramming happening. And there's still going to be bigger things moving out and releasing. But if you can maintain strength and courage in yourself, I mean, the Aries has confidence. Aries energy has confidence in itself and say, this is who I am. Allow the universe to meet you there. And that's where these beautiful new starts are going to come through and show up for you. So a very interesting Aries new moon here. And as I mentioned, I'll have more videos, of course, as I do for every lunar chart, but Venus continues to be prominent here. So we'll continue that discussion, especially as we look at the Libra full moon coming up the middle of April. So thank you so much for joining me. Also, for those of you who want to look at these eclipse energies even more, please check out my 2022 Soul Growth Astrology program, which is the full astrology for the year. And with the first eclipse coming up, we talk about what that means for you, because there's many different types of eclipses. So this is more of a deep dive into the different types of eclipses, and it's going to help you understand what's going on in your chart. So I have a coupon code for you below. You can check it out, get it for a deal, and then it also is going to show you the eclipses that happen in the second half of the year as well. So as always, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your comments, your likes, subscribes, and please be sure and share this with other people who would also benefit and enjoy this energy interpretation. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I'll see you back here soon.